I'm Mohit. Our group is Team Inquisitive. Our team consists of Shikhar, me, Disha, Sushant and Shirish. Our topic of presentation for mini project is reverse supply chain management. Traditionally, businesses will focus on forward supply chain management and not on reverse supply chain management. However, as the competition is increasing, companies are increasing their focus on the backward supply chain loop as well. And the process of reverse supply chain management is not very new concept. It has been in practice for long, and like in automotive industry, the manufacturers are using the recycled parts of car to earn the profit from them, and that is they are doing in the form of backward supply chain. So coming to the introduction part, reverse supply chain management is nothing but the movement of goods from vendor to customer. As the name suggests, reverse supply chain management is the reverse of traditional supply chain management followed, in which the product moves from vendor to the customer. If we define it concisely, we can say the reverse logistics is the process of planning, implementing and controlling the efficient and cost-efficient flow of raw materials and information in the supply chain flow with the purpose of recapturing the value or proper disposal. So reverse logistics is not simply a matter of driving the truck the opposite way. There are many processes involved which we see in the upcoming slides. So these are the 5 typical processes which are included in the reverse supply chain management. First process is product acquisition, that is obtaining product from customer by reseller or manufacturer. Second process is of reverse logistics, that is transporting return products to a facility. Third process is inspection and deposition, that is when the return products are obtained, then the products are evaluated, assessed, and the most profitable decision is made on the condition of product, whether they are to be sent to scrap or remanufactured or refurbished or directly sent to the distributor or some spare parts to be used. The next process is of manufacturing and refurbishing. Remanufacturing is remanufacturing the product, and refurbishing is just renovating or redecorating the product. The last but not the least process is of marketing, that is creating a secondary market for these products. Like we see often that in college campuses or in showrooms, they are selling the second-hand cars. So they are creating a secondary market for this process, and which is very essential. So now let's look at this chart and summarize the process of forward and reverse supply chain. In forward supply chain, we see that raw materials are manufactured into products which are distributed to distributors, and from there they go to retailer and customer. The products are sold, returns are obtained. Then there are some products which are returned by customer after some time, or some products are there which are already defected and returned by customers on the spot. So then comes in scene the process of returns evaluation. Returns evaluation is nothing but obtaining the products, then assessing its condition, then determining whether it should go to scrap, or it should be remanufactured and sold to secondary market, or the spare parts should be obtained from this product and spare components are to be used in the form of raw materials, or we have to just return the product after minimal remanufacturing to distributors. Next is the reverse logistic activities. So the following activities are included in the reverse logistics. First is the handling of returned merchandise. As I explained before, that reverse logistics is transporting returned products from customer to the facility where they are assessed. So when we are transporting products, they have to be handled very carefully, which includes preventing damage of products during transportation. Then there is term seasonal inventory, which means that like in the monsoon season, we are having umbrellas which will only come in monsoon season. If some umbrellas are defective or some are returned like old used umbrella, then we have to keep some special warehouses for that season. So this is called seasonal inventory, which have to be kept in mind while we are going for reverse supply chain. Then resale via outlet, that we have to create outlets for reselling the products, because the ultimate aim of all this process is profit. Then the salvage of outdated products, that is preventing outdated products from damage. Next is the recycling and reuse. As you can see in this example, the sole of this shoe is completely torn out, but just after slight refurbishing, this shoe is looking like a new one. And like if the cost was 1000, I don't think anyone will say no to this product, even if they buy it for 700 or 750. So just refurbishing this at the cost of almost 50, and we are earning a profit of 100 to 200 rupees. So this is the process which is followed after the material or the returned product is assessed and evaluated, and this product can be reused subsequently. Then the last process is disposition of hazardous materials or scraps. When it comes to hazardous materials, it can be domestic or industrial, and its disposal is very essential because it can damage the environment, as well as it can create harmful diseases in the surroundings. Now there are many concepts emerging in the industry to assess whether reverse supply chain should be followed or not. First is marginal value of time. It is often said, like if a car leaves a showroom, then its value is decreased by 5,000. Like if car is of 5 lakh, people say that as soon as it leaves showroom, its value decreases by 5,000 to 10,000. And as soon as if the model is of 2001, 2003, 2004, we see that the model which is newer, its value is more than the older model. So, which concludes that the value of a product decreases with time. Now it depends on the product that how much value is decreasing with time. That is only the concept of marginal value of time. That is decreasing value of product with time, the rate at which its value decreasing. We can see it is by an example, this shrinking pipeline of product returns. So we see that we have products of products of worth $1,000 which are entering into this reverse supply chain loop. We see that 20% of the product can be restocked and we earn a profit of $190 from this. Then 10% product is given a low touch refurbishing and it is sold and we earn a profit of $75. Then 45% of the product is repaired and remanufactured and we obtain a profit of $250. And 10% of the salvage components, they give us a profit of $20 and like 15% is scrap, so it doesn't give us any profit. So combining all of this, we are getting about 190, 20, 250, 75, about $535 we are getting, while the product value which we obtained was $1,000. So we lost about $465, or we can say greater than 45%. So that is why it is called shrinking pipeline, because the product we obtained were of $1,000 and now their value, the value we obtain after this loop, it's 535, means greater than 45% asset value is lost during the process. And there are two models which are followed when reverse supply chain is applied to a product. So there are two kinds of product in general. First is a product whose cost doesn't decrease with time at that pace, and a second product is that whose cost increase with time, whose cost decrease with time with pace. So in centralized model, it sacrifices speed over cost efficiency, which means that in this process we are not focusing at the speed at which we will be delivering the products. Rather, we are focusing at minimizing the cost of the product. So what is done in the centralized evaluation test facility. So this product returns, they can be of different types like scrap or restock, etc. So they all are returned to some facilities, and all the products are brought to a centralized facility. At this central facility, these products are evaluated and cost efficiency obtained by centralizing testing and evaluation of the returned product at this central facility. This can be also called as postponement strategy, because we are just postponing and the delay is increasing when we are returning the product to the market or the secondary market. So like if the process could be done directly in 10 days, here from 5 days, here for 7 days. So if all of these are brought to a central facility, obviously it will take time. So that's why we said initially also that it is focusing on this cost efficiency, not on speed. Our aim is to minimize the cost and maximize the profit by centralized model, and we are not focusing on speed. And it is called efficient reverse supply chain management or centralized model. Then we also have some products like personal computers, which cannot be kept for long and they have to be dispatched to the market as soon as possible. So there we will be concentrating on speed and not cost efficiency. So the first, so we'll be focusing on speed and not cost efficiency. So here we are following a decentralized model. That is, the product is returned to various facilities. From there only it goes to restock. From there only it goes to scrap if it is not of use. From there only it will go to refurbish, and it will go to test and repair facility, and from where it will be refurbished or parts will be recovered. So one limitation of this decentralized model is that the retailer, that is the end point in the forward supply chain, retailer should either be expert in identifying whether the product is of use or not now, and he should also identify whether it has to be remanufactured, refurbished, recovered, or some spare components can be